The more you tell stories, the better you become as a storyteller. If you want to be a musician, you have to practice the instrument. If you want to be an athlete, you'll have to do the training. And if you want to be an actor, you'll have to attend rehearsals and learn your lines. So if you want to be a storyteller, you tell stories, and that means telling them, if you can, rather than reading them. And you will improve as you go along. But sometimes, as you know, in a family situation, for instance, storytellers often struggle with finding stories to tell to the little ones. Well, one way to resolve that is to take a fable from Aesop's Fables, which are available online and they're free. So they're very, very short. They're just little tiny ones. And have a look through them till you find something that you like. For it's easier to tell a story that you like. And then the story sometimes likes you. And once you know the story, it gives you confidence in yourself. And you can concentrate on the telling of the story. You can tell the story, fable that you choose. You can tell it, or any story, you can tell it as it is, as a straightforward story, and so be it. Or you can superimpose the names of your listeners on the characters in the story. And then it becomes a different story. Now it's their story. It's about somebody called their name. Wow. Magic is starting to happen. Or another way of doing it is to make one of your listeners into an observer who goes away and sees all of these things happening in the story and has returned to tell everybody what has happened and what they saw. And now you have a different story. You have the same story and you can tell it in 3 different ways. Straightforward with the names and pose, or as a listener, as an observer, telling what happened. And now you have one story you can tell. So now you're a storyteller. And once you have a little confidence, you can start adding in some little stories of your own. Or you can learn another story choose another story from Aesop's Fables, and on you go. Once you're comfortable. And soon enough, you'll have a repertoire to draw from so that you can tell stories at any time that will suit that particular listener and listeners. So happy storytelling, for the story is everything. And perhaps if we choose one ourselves from Aesop's Fables just for now, called The Lion and the Mouse, we can see how easily it is told and how profound the message is in the story, for they are all fables, and fables always carry a story. And once, when a lion was asleep, a little mouse happened along and saw that the lion was asleep, so the mouse ran up and down on the belly of the lion and was having a great fun until the lion woke up. Oh, wow! And the lion put out its great big paw and put it on top of the mouse, and the mouse is trapped. And very soon that little mouse was about to become a morsel in the mouth of the lion. But the mouse said to the lion, "Please, please, sir, please, oh, king, please, please, don't eat me. And if you don't, I shall never forget it. And who knows that I may be able to help you sometime in the future and do a turn for you." Ah, the lion was so tickled at the idea. He laughed and he laughed. And all the birds and the animals ran away in fear when they heard the lion roaring and laughing. But still, he lifted up his paw and he let the mouse free. And away the mouse ran, and ran all the way home, and told everybody at home what had happened, and they did not believe him, because they said, well, nobody has ever heard of a mouse being freed by a lion that was about to eat it. Still, time went past, and the mouse was going along about its business one day, not paying any attention to anything, and then he suddenly saw there was a huge net on the ground under the trees, and he saw there was a huge animal inside of it. Well, he knew the hunters, the people, the human beings had done this, so he didn't want to be seen by them either, because they were a threat to him as well. So he slipped away, and he watched. He saw it was the lion, and then he saw it was his friend the lion. So he went over, and he began to chew and gnaw his way through one tiny piece of rope. And the lion looked at him with his great big sad eyes. For all his strength, he couldn't break through from the net of rope that surrounded him and held him captive. But the mouse kept going and going and going and going. And little bit more. And he broke through one of the threads of the rope, and he started on the next one. And time passed, and the lion watched, and each time that the mouse got another little bit open, the lion put his great big paw through it, and he hacked and made it a little bit wider, until after a time the lion was able to free himself from the net. And he turned before he went away to the mouse to say thank you. And the little mouse said to him, "You laughed at me when I promised I would repay you for letting me go and not eating me. But now you see, even a mouse can help